Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTbase.com. Welcome to this week's Commitments of Traders review. Today we're going to have a look at the 12th COT report of 2016. And as usual, we're going to start off with the changes in commercials positions. So here we go. As you can see, we've got the natural gas on top of our list with a 29% change in commercials positions. Roughly the same change can be seen in large speculators. These changes are larger than average. You may see on the chart that they are definitely larger changes, and of course they're bearish COT changes, possibly pushing prices lower in the near term in the next couple of days. Looking at a 5-year chart, we can get a little bit better picture about the COT Extreme situation present in the market, and you may see that generally speaking, this is more of a bullish COT Extreme picture. Although slowly and steadily we are moving away from these most extreme COT levels. But right now we're still there, and of course if you look at the chart, there's a lot of space left for natural gas to go higher. Moving on to coffee, we have a 29% change over there in large speculators positions. You may see it over here. We had similar changes in the past 2 reports. Of course, these are all bullish COT chain signals, and you may see how well price reacted to it. Right now we see a bit of a decline. The question is if this of course would change in the next few days, but nevertheless this is the picture right now. If you look at the chart, we do see greater changes quite often in the coffee market. Of course, this is a warning that not necessarily all changes would affect price here, but it's still something that you may take into consideration if you trade coffee. 5-year chart, next chart. You may see that we're going pretty fast towards bearish extreme levels as price moves higher. There's still space left to really reach those bearish COT extreme levels. You may see it on this 5-year chart. In case of commercials, that'd be a larger short position, net short position, than 50,000 contracts. In case of large speculators, just the opposite. 50,000 contracts net long would mean that we've reached a very strong bearish COT extreme level. So this rally, of course, may continue. This COT extreme may, of course, in time be proven to be a relative extreme. So, of course, as the extreme becomes wider and wider, the chances of a top becomes larger as well. Don't forget that. British pound is our next market. 25% change over there in large speculators positions. In commercials positions. You may see it over here. This, of course, is a bullish COT chain signal coming after a bearish one. So last week we had a much larger change, but it was a bearish COT chain signal. You may see how well it signaled this decline that we had last week, and judging from that, of course, we may consider this COT chain signal to be effective as well. A 5-year chart, let's open that. Here we go. You may see that we're still closer to bullish COT extreme levels, but we're not surprised seeing prices at such levels. So that's that for the COT extreme picture about British pound. Moving on to large speculators COT extreme, we've got soybean oil on top of a list. Soybean oil on top of a list with all-time COT extreme, and of course, as you may see in commercials, it is close to all-time 1,339 report extreme. I would say it can also be considered an all-time COT extreme. So that's the picture. It's a very obvious bearish COT extreme situation, and as you may see, whenever we had such COT extremes in the past, these were effective. Of course, I've told you before that COT extreme signals in soybean markets are generally pretty effective signals. So what I can say is if you were long in soybean oil, then of course carefulness is advised, and be ready for a top in soybean oil, I would say. Silver is our next market with a 537 report extreme in large speculators. You may see that extreme here. Again, we're talking about very large bearish COT Extreme. At least on this 5-year chart, you don't see large speculators or commercials ever being so extreme. Just 537 report ago, they were at such levels in case of commercial. So this is a bearish COT Extreme, which of course, if you look at the chart on this wider picture, seems very unrealistic. But if you would zoom in and just look at a 2-3 year period, it of course may affect prices, and we could see prices go further down. So that's that about silver. Maybe I could also say and state that the small speculators are relatively optimistic about the market, which of course again is a bearish signal. And last but not least, we have the lumber market with 153 report extreme in large speculators. We are moving towards bearish COT extreme levels, but right now this is a relatively larger COT extreme, a relative extreme, but on this 5-year chart you can see how much further these positions have to go to really reach those extremely large COT extreme levels. So this is a bearish one, possibly would bring a reaction from price, but of course the general picture is still bullish. The last major COT extremes were bullish. This can push prices even further higher in the lumber market. That is all for this review. Don't forget that we can show you all COT charts on our COT charts page. The COT analysis page that we're looking at gives you the opportunity to go into more in-depth and detailed COT analysis, where you can look at other COT report types, data types, of course, all markets, and add other great functions to the table. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care. Goodbye.